Hi folks, Mike Finnerty here, gaming editor and critic with entertainment.ie. Here is our review of Dying Light 2 Stay Human for the PlayStation 5. 2011 saw the release of Dead Island and its historic trailer. The trailer received a lot of praise for its developer Techland, but the finished game was nowhere near the quality of the trailer. While the trailer itself was heartbreaking and emotional, the actual game was more like an episode of Scooby-Doo. Over 10 years later, Techland has finally nailed that vision, and Dying Light 2 is the rare zombie game that favours heart over brains. One of our favourite parts of Dying Light 2 was coming across an unscripted funeral in the streets. This funeral was then broken up by processional zombies. In another instance, we came across a young man who was complaining about his mother being overbearing, but he later admits to a friend he would miss her cooking too much. It's these small moments of contemplation and reflection that elevate Dying Light 2 above its sandbox peers. The story offers branching decisions, and while there is some slight Telltale game style, no except yes railroading going on, the game does react to the player's choices. Pre-launch, there was a significant amount of controversy following a quote from Techland that the game would take 500 hours to beat. This statement was gradually walked back, but we can see why they came to that number. The XP progression in this game is as fast as a glacier. In game writing, there is a term called ludonarrative disassociates. This is basically a posh way of saying that the story does not reflect the gameplay, and the gameplay doesn't reflect the story. There is a major case of this in Dying Light 2. Our protagonist Aiden has travelled over 2,000 kilometers to travel to the city, yet when he starts the game, he's terribly unfit. Aiden can barely run for more than 10 seconds without needing to stop for a cigarette break and a Twix. By the end of the game, Aiden is able to pull off moves that will put Jason Statham to shame. The point being, players have to build up the stamina over the course of the game, but this poses the question, surely Aiden was fit to begin with? With that said, the parkour mechanic in the game is tremendous fun, and this is maybe the first game that nails parkour from a first-person perspective. Sorry, Mirror's Edge. In the early game, trying to build up a bit of momentum and speed with Aiden is incredibly frustrating. Our hero shouldn't be going out of breath when he's trying to climb a drain pipe. Having to upgrade your stamina is a major pain in the ass, and the game will have been better suited to allowing players to upgrade just their combat skills and unlocking the parkour moves by default. The game is billed as a zombie RPG, and while there is an inherent appeal of seeing your character go from a klutz to a savant that can kill zombies with their bare hands, the RPG mechanics in this game are seriously lacking. All in all, the skill progression could have stood to been streamlined a bit. For a game that is touted as a zombie RPG, the RPG progression is not very good, and this stops the game from fulfilling its true 5-star potential. Despite that one major flaw, the core gameplay is still brilliant fun, and the series' trademark day-night cycle works a treat here. The chase sequences and the night sequences remind me of my time in NUIG, and everyone became incredibly aggressive once the sun went down and had a few pints in them. The online mode is also great fun, and players can hop into random players' lobbies or team up with a group of friends to create an experience that's somewhere between Jackass and The Walking Dead. In conclusion, Dying Light 2 is well worth your time. That comes with the caveat that the early part of the game is a total slog. Overall, the game is incredibly enjoyable, but it falls down in the area where it matters the most, namely the RPG side. We enjoy the deep story, interesting characters and world building so much, we're giving a strong recommend to the game off the back of that, but crucially, the game would have been Game of the Year material if it had streamlined its RPG elements just a bit more. For more gaming news, keep it locked to entertainment.ie and be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.